There is a fear no one ever talks about, the fear of your own self. You've done the work. You faced your shadow. You walked away from soul-draining relationships. You finally stopped bending yourself into shapes that didn't fit just to keep the peace. You expected to feel free. Instead, you feel empty, panicked, terrified of the person you're becoming. This is what happens after the dust settles. After you've left what was killing you, there's this moment where you stand alone with yourself and realize you don't know if you can trust the person looking back at you. There's a concept that isn't talked about enough, something that lives in the space between healing and wholeness. It's been called the terror of the self, that sacred fear that rises the first time you truly meet yourself. Not the version you perform for others, not the mask you wore to survive, but the raw, real, unedited you. And here's what nobody tells you: that terror is supposed to be there. It means something in you is waking up, something that's been asleep for a very long time. Today we're walking through 9 steps together. These aren't quick fixes or surface strategies. These are the kind of steps that take you from that terror to a place where you can finally look in the mirror and say, I am safe with me. Because here's the truth: you've spent so much of your life trying to be safe with other people, trying to be enough for them, trying not to trigger them, trying to keep them from leaving. And in all that trying, you forgot how to be safe with yourself. Maybe you're here because you recently ended something that was slowly breaking you. Maybe you're here because you finally set a boundary, and now you're terrified of what comes next. Maybe you're here because you looked in the mirror this morning and didn't recognize the person staring back. Wherever you are, you're in the right place, not because everything is about to become easy, but because you're finally ready to stop running from yourself. What we resist doesn't disappear. It waits. It waits patiently beneath everything, hoping for a gentler kind of attention. That's what this journey is about. Learning to give that attention back to yourself. Not with force, not with criticism, but with the kind of tenderness you've been giving everyone else. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are not too much or not enough. You are simply at the beginning of remembering what it feels like to come home to yourself. So take a breath, a real one, the kind that fills your chest completely and leaves slowly, like it's carrying something heavy away with it. These 9 steps will feel different than anything you've tried before, because they're not about becoming someone new. They're about becoming safe with who you already are. And that's where real freedom lives. Let's begin. Here's what most people do with fear. They soften it. They make it vague. They call it anxiety or stress or just feeling off. And I understand why. Naming fear precisely makes it real. But here's what I know. What remains unnamed remains powerful. So this first step asks something of you that might feel uncomfortable. I want you to name your fear exactly as it is. Not the polite version, not the version that sounds reasonable. The raw, honest, middle-of-the-night version. Not, I'm anxious. That's too clean. That's diagnosis. The truth sounds more like this. I'm terrified that if I trust myself, I'll choose the wrong person, again get abandoned again, and betray myself all over again. Or maybe yours is, I'm afraid that if I stop performing, there's nothing real underneath. That I'm just an empty shell people only loved because I never asked for anything. Or when I'm scared that the real me, the one I've been hiding, is fundamentally unlovable. Or I'm terrified that my own needs will destroy me, that wanting anything for myself makes me selfish and broken. Whatever your sentence is, write it down. One raw sentence that tells the complete truth about what you're actually afraid of. This isn't about being dramatic. It's about being precise. Because when you can name the fear exactly, you take away some of its power. You bring it out of the shadows, where it's been controlling you in secret, and you put it in the light, where you can actually see it. There's wisdom in the idea that what you make conscious can no longer haunt you from the dark. Your fear has been running the show precisely because you haven't looked directly at it. You've been dancing around it, managing it, trying not to think about it. But today, you're going to write it down. And in that act of naming, something shifts, not because the fear disappears, but because you're finally being honest about what's really there. This is where trust begins, not with feeling safe, but with being truthful. Step 2. Look one last time at the moment you betrayed yourself. Now that you've named the fear, I want you to look back at something specific, not your whole history, not every mistake, just one moment, the moment you betrayed yourself. This isn't about blame, this is about pattern recognition, because until you can see the pattern clearly, you'll keep repeating it without knowing why. Maybe your moment was the time you stayed silent when you should have said no. The time someone crossed a boundary and you laughed it off because confrontation felt too dangerous. The time you stayed in a relationship 6 months longer than you should have because being alone felt worse than being slowly destroyed. Maybe it was the morning you looked in the mirror and didn't recognize yourself anymore, but you went to work anyway and pretended everything was fine. Maybe it was the night you canceled plans with yourself for the 3rd time because someone else needed something, and you'd learned that your needs always came last. Think of one specific moment, not to punish yourself, but to understand the mechanics of how you learned to abandon yourself. Ask yourself, what was I protecting myself from? What did I believe would happen if I chose differently? Who taught me that my needs were dangerous? These questions aren't meant to hurt, they're meant to illuminate. Because when you can see the moment clearly without judgment, you can finally understand why you made that choice. And understanding creates compassion. Compassion creates space. And space creates the possibility of choosing differently next time. Here's something important. That version of you who stayed silent, who stayed too long, who made yourself small. She wasn't weak. She was doing the best she could with what she knew. She was trying to survive. But here's what's also true. You're not her anymore. You're the version who's strong enough to look back and witness that moment without falling apart. You're the one who can say, I see what happened there. I understand why I did it. And I'm ready to choose differently now. Looking back one last time isn't about living in the past. It's about closing the door on a pattern that's been keeping you stuck. It's about saying goodbye to the version of you who thought self-betrayal was the price of love, because it's not. It never was. There's a part of you that still remembers everything, not in words, in feelings, in reactions that rise before you can explain them. This is the part of you that learned what safety meant, what love felt like, and what it cost to be yourself in a world that didn't always know how to hold you. That part of your younger self still lives inside you. And most of the time when you betray yourself as an adult, you're actually trying to protect that child. You're trying to keep her from feeling what she felt. Then abandoned, unseen. Too much. Not enough. But here's what needs to happen for you to feel safe again. You need to become, for that child, what no one else could be. You need to become the safe place she never had. This step is a ceremony. Not complicated. Not long. Just 5 to 7 minutes, where you create a bridge between who you are now and who you were then. Find a quiet place. Sit down. Put your hand on your heart. And speak 3 sentences to the child inside you. You no longer have to protect yourself by staying silent. From now on, I am the one who protects you. You are allowed to trust me. Say them slowly. Let each sentence land. Notice what happens in your body as you speak them. Maybe your chest tightens. Maybe your eyes fill with tears. Maybe you feel resistance, like a part of you doesn't believe it yet. That's okay. You're not looking for perfection. You're creating connection. The child inside you has been waiting for someone to say these words. She's been waiting for someone to take over the job of protection, so she doesn't have to do it anymore. She's tired. She's been working so hard to keep you safe, by keeping you small, by keeping you quiet, by keeping you from risking anything that could lead to more pain. But she can rest now, because you, the adult, you are finally here. You're finally big enough, strong enough, aware enough to take over. This is what it means to reparent yourself. Not to erase what happened, but to become the person you needed then, right here, right now. If you want, you can close your eyes and imagine that younger version of you. See her clearly. Notice what she's wearing, how she's sitting, what her face looks like. And then, in your mind, sit down beside her. You don't have to say anything more. Just be there. Let her feel your presence. Let her know that this time she's not alone. Something powerful happens when you do this. The part of you that's been terrified of trusting yourself begins to soften, because for the first time there's someone inside who's worthy of that trust. There's someone who won't abandon her when things get hard. This ceremony isn't one and done. You might need to come back to it many times. That's the point. Trust is built through repetition, through showing up again and again, even when it's uncomfortable. But today, right now, you're planting a seed. You're telling your inner world things are different now. I'm different now. You're safe with me. Fear doesn't just live in your mind. It lives in your body, in your throat, in your chest, in your belly, in places you've learned to ignore because feeling them was too much. But here's what needs to happen. Those places need to be heard. They need to be acknowledged, because your body has been holding your story when your mind couldn't. This step is simple but profound. You're going to scan your body from head to toe, and you're going to ask each place, where am I still holding the fear of being abandoned? Start at the top of your head. Move slowly down. Your jaw, your throat, your shoulders, your chest, your belly, your hips, your legs. As you scan, notice where you feel tension, tightness, numbness, heaviness, heat. Whatever's there, just notice it. Don't try to change it. Just acknowledge it. For most people, certain places hold specific fears. Your throat might be holding the voice. You swallowed the truth. You never spoke the no you couldn't say. Your chest might be carrying grief, loneliness, the ache of feeling unloved. Your belly might hold shame, the feeling of being too much or not enough, the fear of your own needs. When you find a place that feels charged, breathe into it. Imagine sending your breath directly to that spot, and then speak to it quietly. I hear you. You're safe now. You don't have to understand what it means. You don't have to solve it. You just have to acknowledge it. Because acknowledgement is the beginning of release. Your body has been protecting you brilliantly. Every tight muscle, every shallow breath, every place that went numb, it was all in service of keeping you functional when things felt too big to feel. Your nervous system did its job perfectly. But now, you're ready to let your body know you can soften now. You don't have to hold everything so tightly anymore. I'm here. I'm paying attention. You can start to let go. This scan isn't about fixing your body. It's about creating a relationship with it. A relationship built on listening, not controlling. On respect, not force. As you practice this, you might notice something interesting. The places that felt frozen begin to thaw. The places that felt chaotic begin to settle. Not all at once, but gradually, breath by breath, moment by moment. Your body knows how to heal itself. It just needs you to stop fighting it. It needs you to start listening. There's a part of you that you probably hate. The part that stayed too long. The part that said yes when you meant no. The part that made you small, that betrayed your own knowing, that chose other people over yourself, again and again. You've probably spent years trying to get rid of this part, trying to be stronger, better, less pathetic. But here's what I want you to consider. That part wasn't trying to hurt you. It was trying to save you. It stayed in the wrong relationship because it was terrified of being alone. It said yes because it thought your worth depended on being useful. It made you small because it believed that taking up space would get you rejected. That part of you was a protector, a scared, desperate, doing the best it could protector. And until you can see it that way, it will keep running your life from the shadows. So this step asks you to do something radical. Write a letter to that part of you. Not to punish it, to thank it, to release it from a job it was never supposed to have. Start like this. Dear part of me that stayed with the wrong people so I wouldn't be abandoned. And then tell the truth. Tell it what you see now. Tell it that you understand why it did what it did. Tell it that it doesn't have to protect you that way anymore. Your letter might say, I see you now. I see how hard you tried to keep me safe. You thought if you could just be good enough, small enough, quiet enough, they would stay. You were terrified of being alone. Thank you for trying. You did the best you could with what you knew. But I'm big enough now to protect myself. You don't have to carry that burden anymore. You can rest. I've got us now. When you write this letter, something inside shifts. Because you're no longer at war with yourself. You're no longer trying to destroy the parts of you that feel weak or broken. You're integrating them. You're bringing them home. This is the deepest work. Not rejecting your shadow, but sitting down with it, looking it in the eye and saying, I see you. I understand you. And you belong here too. When the protector parts of you feel seen, they soften. They don't need to fight so hard anymore. They don't need to control everything. Because finally, someone understands. And that someone is you. Your nervous system needs something tangible to hold on to. Something that reminds you in moments of panic that you are your own safe place. This is where your trust anchor comes in. It's simple. Choose one sacred object or one phrase that will represent your commitment to yourself. It could be a small stone you keep in your pocket, a bracelet, a ring, a piece of sea glass, anything that you can touch when fear rises. And remember, I am the safe place I've been waiting for. Or it could be a phrase, a mantra you repeat when your mind starts spinning. I am home in myself. My safety lives within me. I trust myself to handle what comes. The specific object or phrase doesn't matter as much as what it represents. It's a physical reminder of an internal truth. You are building a relationship with yourself. And this object is a symbol of that commitment. When you choose your anchor, take a moment to hold it, or say it 3 times. Feel the weight of the commitment you're making. You're not just picking a pretty stone or a nice phrase. You're creating a ritual. You're telling your nervous system this means something. And then, whenever fear rises, reach for your anchor. Hold it. Breathe. Remember, you're not the same person who couldn't trust herself. You're the person who's learning day by day to be her own safe place. Trust isn't built in grand gestures. It's built in small, consistent actions. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, your nervous system takes note. It starts to learn when she says it, she does it. So here's the practice every day. Keep one promise to yourself. Just one. And it needs to be small enough that you will absolutely do it. Not, I'll work out every day. That's too big. Start with, I'll drink 8 glasses of water. Or, I'll go to bed by 10. Or, I'll take a 5-minute walk in the morning. The specific promise doesn't matter. What matters is that you keep it. Because every kept promise is a vote for your own trustworthiness. And over time, those votes add up. Your brain is watching. Your nervous system is learning. And slowly, you're rewriting an old story that says you can't rely on yourself. You're replacing it with evidence. I say what I mean. I do what I say. I keep my word to myself. This is how self-trust is rebuilt. Not in the big moments, but in the small daily choices that no one else sees. The moments where you choose yourself, even when it's hard. Even when it would be easier to break the promise. Start today. Pick one small thing and keep that promise. Then tomorrow, do it again. And the day after that. Watch what happens inside you when you realize I'm becoming someone I can trust. Boundaries aren't walls. They're not about pushing people away. They're about protecting the space where your authentic self can exist. But if you've spent your life without boundaries setting, them can feel impossible. Your body might go into panic mode. Your mind might flood with guilt. You might hear a voice that says, if you say no, they'll leave. That's why this step is about rehearsal. You're going to practice before you need it. You're going to build the muscle memory of saying no without apologizing, without over-explaining, without collapsing under the weight of someone else's disappointment. Write down 3 calm, unapologetic no sentences. That doesn't work for me. I'm not available for that. I need to think about it. Then stand in front of a mirror, look yourself in the eyes, and say them out loud, over and over, until they start to feel natural, until your body stops bracing for impact. This practice does something powerful. It teaches your nervous system that setting a boundary doesn't kill you. It teaches your body that you can say no and still be safe. Most people avoid boundaries because they're terrified of the other person's reaction. But here's the truth. The scariest part isn't the other person's response. It's your own fear of your power to choose. When you practice boundaries in the mirror, you're proving to yourself, I can do this. I can protect my peace. I can choose myself. And that realization, that's where freedom begins. This is the step that changes everything. Not because it's complicated, but because it's the moment you finally commit. Not to another person, but to yourself. Find a mirror, stand in front of it, look yourself directly in the eyes, and hold that gaze for 60 seconds. Don't look away. Don't laugh it off. Just stay. And then speak these vows. I choose to stay with you on the good days and the terrible days, when you make mistakes and when you shine, when you're afraid and when you're brave. I will not abandon you when things get hard. I will not betray you for approval. You are the home I have been searching for my entire life. I choose you. I commit to you. I am yours, and you are mine. Say them slowly. Let each word land. Notice what happens inside you. Maybe you'll cry. Maybe you'll feel resistance. Maybe you'll feel an overwhelming sense of relief, like you've been waiting your whole life to hear these words. This is not narcissism. This is sacred self-love. This is the moment you stop looking outside yourself for someone to make you feel safe, and you realize I am the one I've been waiting for. Everything changes when you make this commitment, because you stop operating from a place of scarcity. You stop thinking, I need to be chosen. And you start living from a place of wholeness. I have already chosen myself. When you finish these 9 steps, you become a different kind of person. You become the kind of person your past can no longer make tremble. You become the adult your inner child finally trusts. You become someone who knows that safety isn't something you find in another person. It's something you are. And that makes you dangerous. Not in a harmful way, but in a powerful way. Because no one can manipulate a person who is completely at home in herself. No abandonment threat works on someone who will never abandon themselves. No rejection breaks someone who has already chosen themselves. You are no longer looking for a safe place. You are the safe place. So tonight, start with just 2 steps. Step 1 and Step 3. Name your fear exactly, and speak those 3 sentences to your inner child. That's all. Just those 2 things. And then come back and tell me. Comment below the exact sentence you said to your inner child. I read every single one. Let's witness each other coming home to ourselves. Because you're not doing this alone. None of us are. We're all finding our way back. 1 breath, 1 step, and 1 moment of courage at a time. You are safe with you. Remember that. You always have been.